Vaheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji Ki Fateh. My name is Harmeet Singh. In America, when a white truck driver causes a crash, it's called an accident, but when a turban wearing Sikh driver is involved, suddenly it becomes a political debate, an immigration issue, and even a trial of his identity. The recent Florida truck crash is not just about road safety, it has exposed the deep hypocrisy, the racism, and the double standards of American politics and society. Today, we are going to break this down, compare it with how white Americans are treated in similar cases, look at real data on road accidents and gun violence, and expose how the turban has once again been unfairly targeted. This is not just about one man, this is about the image of the Sikhs in America and the ongoing discrimination against minorities. In Florida, Harjinder Singh, a Sikh truck driver, took a wrong turn, an illegal U turn, and unfortunately, three lives were lost. No one denies it was a tragic mistake, but instead of treating it like an accident, like the thousands other fatal crashes that happen every day in America, this one spiraled into a political and cultural trial. Florida's lieutenant governor publicly blamed California's governor Gavin Newsom, saying, "Three lives lost because of Gavin Newsom." As if this accident was not just about driving error but about politics between states. Florida politicians immediately turned it into an immigration issue. Harjinder was branded an illegal immigrant, an unqualified driver, and even his turban, his Sikh identity, was dragged into the debate. He was brought to court without his turban, an act that deeply insulted Sikh religious values. For Sikhs, the turban is not just a piece of cloth, it is identity, dignity, and religion. To strip a Sikh of his turban is to strip away his honor. Imagine if a Christian was forced to remove their cross or a Muslim was forced to take off their hijabs in court. They will be outraged, but when a Sikh's turban is disrespected, silence. This shows us the accident was not just an accident, it became a tool of politics and the turban became a target. Let's look at the bigger picture. In 2022, the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration reported 5,788 people died in large truck crashes. And that's nearly 16 deaths every single day, and a majority of those crashes were caused by white American drivers. But how many times did we see their faces on national news? How many times did their identity, their religion, their skin color became the headline? How many times have you seen those cases linked to immigration? How many times have you seen politicians holding press conferences blaming white drivers for unsafe roads? Almost never. Instead, for white drivers, the language changes. The accident is explained as driver fatigue, poor weather, mechanical failure. In other words, excuses are given, the system protects them. But when the driver is an immigrant, when he wears a turban, suddenly the story changes and he is not just a driver, he becomes a symbol of foreign danger. This is the double standard. White drivers get excuses, Sikh drivers get headlines. That is not justice, that is bias. Let's step back and see the larger hypocrisy. Every year, America loses 40 to 50,000 lives to gun violence. In 2023 alone, there were more than 600 mass shootings. Schools, malls, concerts, no place is safe. And yet, Americans, especially white politicians, defend it by saying gun don't kill people, people kill people. They protected the Second Amendment as it is some sacred scripture. Even when children are slaughtered in classrooms, the right to own an AR-15 is defended more strongly than the right of the children to live safely. Here is a double standard. When a white man with a gun killing dozens of people, he is called mentally unstable. Society debates mental health. When a Sikh trucker making a traffic mistake, he is called an illegal immigrant and his turban becomes a part of the blame. This is hypocrisy of the highest order. Let's not forget, Sikhs have already faced the deadliest form of hate violence in America. In 2012, a white supremacist named Wade Michael Page entered a Sikh Gurdwara in Oak Creek, Wisconsin, and opened fire. Six were killed instantly and one later died from his wounds, and several were injured. Why? Because they wore turbans. Because he thought Sikhs were foreigners or terrorists. What was the response? The FBI initially didn't even classify it as domestic terrorism. Media coverage faded within days. Politicians gave the usual thoughts and prayers, but no national outrage followed. Compare that to today. A Sikh driver makes a traffic mistake, and suddenly the story becomes national politics. So here's a painful truth. When Sikhs are victims, America stays silent. When Sikhs make mistake, America puts the turban on trial. Yet, while Sikhs are vilified in one corner, they are heroes in another. Take the story of Manjeet Singh, a 29-year-old turban wearing Sikh in California. In 2020, at Ridley Beach, he saw three children drowning in the Kings River. Without hesitation, he removed his turban, tried to use it as a rope, and then jumped into the river, into the water to save them. Two children were saved, but Manjeet Singh never came out. He gave his life for children he didn't even know. His community had to raise money to send his body back to Punjab. This is the turban, a symbol of sacrifice, courage, and humanity. Yet, this same turban is demonized when politics needs a scapegoat. This bias is not new. America has a long history of discrimination. Native Americans, the original inhabitants, were pushed off their lands, massacred, and forced into reservations. African Americans suffered through slavery, segregation, and systematic racism that still exists today. Japanese Americans were placed into camps during World War II simply because of their race. After 9/11, Sikhs with turbans were targeted in hate crimes, beaten, insulted, and even killed, just because Americans confused turbans with terrorism. And now, in 2025, we see the same pattern repeating. The turban once again is on trial. The Florida accident is not just about mistake on road, it is about how quickly America is ready to blame minorities while excusing its own. Let's not forget, Sikhs are not outsiders freeloading of America. Sikhs are the backbone of US trucking industry. In states like California, New York, and across the Midwest, 20% of truck drivers are from the Sikh community. They keep the American economy moving, delivering food, goods, and supplies across the country. While Americans are not willing to do this hard, grueling work, Sikhs have stepped up and carried the weight of the trucking industry on their shoulders. And yet, instead of being respected, they are targeted, humiliated, and made political scapegoats. After the accident, the case turned into a political football. Florida's lieutenant governor personally flew to California to bring Harjinder Singh back, blaming California's governor Gavin Newsom. Federal officials used the accident to suspend visas for foreign truckers, hurting thousands of honest immigrant workers. Meanwhile, Change.org petition supporting Harjinder Singh gained over 2.5 million signatures, showing that the people see the injustice. But politicians don't care about truth, they care about votes. And attacking immigrants has always been an easy way to rally white nationalist voters. Politicians claimed Harjinder didn't know English, but a new video showing him speaking clearly with police, so that lie collapses. They call him illegal, yet he entered through legal asylum, paid a $5,000 bond, and openly declared his life was in danger in India. He earned his commercial truck license the same way every American driver does. From Sikh perspective, this is more than just a case. It's about justice, equality, and dignity. Sikhs know what discrimination feels like. We have faced genocide in 1984 in India, hate crimes after 9/11, and daily racism on Western streets. We will not accept our turbans being disrespected. We will not accept being scapegoated for America's political games. Every life lost in an accident is tragic, but to turn tragedy into racism and politics is even more shameful. So let's ask the real questions. Is this really about road safety or is it about politics? Is this really about one driver's mistake or it's about targeting immigrants and minorities once again? America will defend guns, Even when children die, America will defend white drivers, even when thousands are killed in accidents. But when a Sikh driver makes one mistake, suddenly the turban is on trial. This is not justice, this is not fairness, this is discrimination, plain and simple. And as Sikh, as minorities, and as humans who believe in truth, we cannot stay silent. We must expose this hypocrisy. Because an accident is an accident, but discrimination is a choice. If you believe in justice, if you believe in equality, share this video, let the world know the truth. That this is not about one accident, but about a system of double standards. And if you are Sikh, wear your turban with even more pride. Because the world may misunderstand us, but we will never give up our identity. ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕਾ ਖਾਲਸਾ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕੀ ਫਤਿਹ